even more bad Disney costumes, because guess what? I have more to say. And this one is actually kind of obvious because I feel like we've all talked about it, but I just wanted to put in my 2 cents because guess what? I have things to say about it as well. And this is Belle's looks from Beauty and the Beast live action, because the way her looks, I'm so sorry, ruined that film. Not just her looks, but I'm just gonna focus on her costuming at the moment. Just her costuming, that's all I'm gonna focus on in this video. The way her costumes ruined the rest of the costumes in this movie makes me so upset, because her other castmates' costumes are so beautiful and well constructed and historical and like grounded is frustrating. Her look is just one, poorly fitted. If you look at her town look, the way that her bodice fits her is not good. If you know anybody who makes historical based costumes, I don't even do historically accurate costumes, I do historically based costumes. The way her bodice fits is not well done. She needs to be wearing undergarments. She needs to be wearing some sort of stays. Not even a corset, stays. I know that like Emma Watson went into this whole thing about like, I don't want to wear corsets, I don't want to do this. But if she did any sense of research, she would know that, you know what? They wore those undergarments to get sometimes just a certain look. And that's why a lot of the things she wears look like that. Her town look is sloppy looking because she will not wear the correct undergarments. It is so frustrating that everything she did was to sabotage the costuming of Belle. And Belle is my favorite Disney princess. And then, of course, we know the yellow dress, the drama with the yellow dress. And I will say I have a little bit of insider knowledge that they had to use a lot of CGI in that dance scene to make it even look a little magical. Because the way that dress was made, it had no like floatiness, it had no like weight to it so that it could have like that flow when you dance. I will say, if you know anything about like old Hollywood, when people like Ginger Rogers or and Rita Hayworth used to dance, they had weights sewn into their dress to make sure that when it spun in a certain way. So the way that they constructed Belle's dress, it just could not have that look. So yeah, that dress was, I'm so sorry, a monstrosity in costuming. The way it fit, the way it looked, the way it had iron on vinyl. Iron on vinyl, when you had everyone else wearing Rococo, like base costuming, I was so mad. And I was just like fuming in my seat when I saw that film because she ruined so much of the costuming. Also, the hair. I mean, I'm a big person on how hair completes a look, and the hair, for all her looks, I'm so sorry, ruined also the look. Clip-ins, my girl, clip-ins. That's all I gotta say. Also, updos. You needed an updo for that look, or just like a half up, half down with clip-ins. I'm so sorry. Design overhaul. And personally, I don't think actors should have too much say in what their costuming looks like because we see what happens when they're allowed that. They they ruin the costuming. I'm sure in other instances, actors have put in the work to research what their character is supposed to look like, but in this instance, we have seen she did not. She just went on a certain stance that was not super well informed and decided, I am going to do this. And that decision ruined the costuming of one of the most iconic dresses in the Disney canon. I know that's probably a very strong statement, but that is how I feel. Because how do you allow somebody to dictate the costume of one of the most iconic Disney princesses? But yeah, this one hurt on such a personal level. As somebody whose favorite princess is like Belle, I was aghast. And I know so many people on the internet have talked about this, but I just need to put in my 2 cents personally. And yeah,